Okay, let's start the recording on the class. Look, on the message that I sent you through CNET, you have this small message. Here is the link to our virtual meeting, which is now. And here is the syllabus. You should open it because we're going to revise the key components that we are going to be working this year and the following year. Because remember, as you are on third grade of secondary, or if you want to call it, stage number 9, stage 9, you have to start the IGCSE because the next year we're going to finish it and you're all going to be testing for the IGCSE of Global Perspectives, okay? So let's revise it just briefly. This is the whole class, by the way, so pay attention. You will know what to do. You will need to revise this a lot of times because we have the topics here. Let's jump to the components. You know that for the Cambridge Global Perspectives course, we have 3 components of evaluation. The first component is, as it says here, the written examination, which is 35% of the overall grade of the IGCSE. It's going to take up to 1 hour and 15 minutes. And you're going to answer several questions, global perspectives. And you may ask yourselves, how do you prepare for it? Well, everything you need to know is in this book, which I hope you have it, okay? So we're going to be working, I'm going to assign the works that you have to do in the book, and you're going to send it to me by screenshots, or if you want to do it on a computer, that's fine as well. So that's part of the job we're going to do this year, okay? And look, the only way to prepare yourselves for the written examination is by practicing your reading skills and by doing a lot of exercises, which we have been doing in the previous year. Okay, give me 1 second, please.
Uy, no. 1, 2, 3. Ay.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Let's continue. So the test is going to be of 70 marks, and we're going to be prepared for when the time comes that you are going to sit for this test. So you should not be worried. We're going to do a lot of work here. Okay, that's the component number 1. The component number 2, as I told you before as well, you have the individual report.
Ya entendí a qué se refería. Yo ya sé quién es el profesor, es el mismo de Microsoft.
Hello. Please, I have to ask you that you turn off your microphones. Thank you. Sorry. Okay. The individual report is your own research about a specific issue, how to explore an issue inside a topic in different perspectives. We have attempted to do one research report in the previous year, which was a very good one that you did. So we will try to perfect it, and we'll do it over and over again until we get it right done. Okay? How do we prepare ourselves? Reading a lot and practicing our writing skills. This is all about writing, getting synthesis out of big texts. So every time you read something now, you just try to get the main ideas, try to write about it. What do you think? What are your appreciations about every topic that you read, every issue that you find? Okay, that's the only way you can prepare for the individual report. And the component number 3, team project, which is the, let's say, the heaviest work in some cases, because it depends on the group and in which way you're going to focus your objectives through the solution of an issue. It might be national, it might be local, it might be of your community or in your school, okay? The team project consists in the outcome, which is the physical the physical result or the proof that you have done properly your team project. The explanation is why did you plan to do it, and how is this trying to solve or helping to solve a specific issue. Okay? And the reflection paper is the individual part of the team project where you reflect about your weaknesses, your strengths, about the difficulties that came, and how did you overcome it. Okay? You have done it as well. We have done in small steps everything of it. So it's going to be, of course, for the IGCSE a little bit harder, but you are going to be prepared for next year. So don't worry, we have time. Okay? Okay. Now let's go for the assessment objectives. We have 3 assessment objectives in the Global Perspectives IGCSE course. The first assessment objective is research, analysis, and evaluation. The second is reflection, and the third is communication and collaboration. Where do you find those? In your book as well. Remember that we have divided the course into those objectives, into those skills, so you could get easier approach on each of the tasks that we will be performing. Okay? Of course, in the research, analysis, and evaluation, you're going to design your own research in different current global issues. Okay, what are the causes of the issues? What are the consequences and possible courses of action, which is going to help you as well for the team project. Remember that each of these assessment objectives are going to help you throughout all the development of your IGCSE of Global Perspectives. Okay, let's continue. You're going to identify and analyze issues, arguments, and perspectives which you have been practicing so far in the book or the previous year that we have been working together. Okay, you're going to develop a line of reasoning to support an argument, a perspective, courses of action, or outcome. Remember that the course of action is a potential solution, or your own solution, or your group solution regarding one specific issue of a topic. Okay, it's not going to be hard. The assessment objective number 2, which is the reflection. You're going to consider different perspectives objectively and with empathy. It means that we are going to treat all of the perspectives with respect. Okay? There is no, you cannot be biased. You cannot say one perspective or one way of viewing things is better than another or is right. Please, you need to be, as researchers, we need to be objective. You're going to justify your personal perspectives using evidence and reasoning, which you're going to get from reliable sources of information. You're going to define very well why are you taking one specific source of information over another. So this is going to be very useful for the individual report. And then you're going to consider how research, engagement with different perspectives, and working as part of a team have influenced in your personal learning, which is going to help you in your reflection paper inside the component number 3 for the team project. Okay? And assessment objective number 3, which is communication and collaboration, where you're going to select and present relevant arguments, evidence, and perspectives clearly and with the structure, which is basically going to help you decide amongst your group what is the specific aim of your team project. Where do you want to go? What do you want to accomplish? And how are you going to do it? Are you going to do a song? Are you going to film a sketch? Are you going to do a drama? Are you going to give a speech? Do you want to raise awareness? Do you want to raise funds for some charity? Do you want to help, I don't know, a specific charity or on your own, like elderly houses or, I don't know, poor people, homeless people? Anything you want to do, you need a structure, okay? And you're going to contribute to the shared purposes and the outcome of the team project. As I told you, the outcome was the proof that you have been working. If you give out a speech, you need photographs, you need to maybe record part of it, you need an attendance list, you need your own speech to be like, if it is in a slide, all of those proofs that you have been working are the outcome. Okay, if you're handing out, if you're raising funds, you need also pictures, you need accountants, you need the contacts of the people, or where are you giving the donations, and how is it helping other people. Okay, remember that the team project is, or the course of action, which is a plan for a solution, has to address specifically one issue, and is going to try to solve it, if not solve it in the long term. So let's be very clear about that. Now we have in which way the assessment objectives are distributed in the three components of examination. In the written examination, of course, there is only going to be assessed the objective number 1, okay, which was the analysis, research, and evaluation. Okay, very good. And the individual report, also the analysis, research, and evaluation, the reflection, which is the assessment objective 2, and in a smaller percentage, in a 25%, we have the communication and collaboration. Why communication and collaboration why reflection? Why communication and collaboration in assessment objective number 3? Basically, because you need to present relevant arguments. When we speak about communication, we are not only speaking about spoken communication. We are not only speaking about how do I talk to other people, but it is also in written language. Okay, so you have to present your arguments in a valid way, in a structured way, in an ordered way. Let's go. In the team project, you need also analysis, research, and evaluation, as well as reflection in a larger way, and communication and collaboration among your team in a 36% amount. Okay, so as you can see, between the three components and the assessment objectives, the first assessment objective is 65%, which is nearly the grade that you need to pass the IGCSE. So how do you get it? How do you prepare yourself for it? Working a lot on your reading skills, writing skills, and doing a lot of exercises on the glossary of global perspectives. We have been training for the past year on all the glossary that we can get. Okay? What is a topic? What is an issue? What is a perspective? How do we differentiate the national perspectives from the local or the personal perspective? It's not as easy as it seems, right? And what is a value judgment? What is an opinion, a prediction, causes, consequences, analysis, synthesis? All of those things, which are the glossary, the specific glossary for the global perspectives course, you will need to apply. Okay, so let's be very let's point that out, that we have to achieve our goal, which is to pass the IGCSE on the next year. Okay, now let's go to the topics. In total, we have 24 topics for the IGCSE global perspective, but it's divided in this way. In the component 1, we have 8 topics. In the component 2, individual report, we have another 8 topics. And in the component 3, which is the team project, we have a different 8 topics. In the first component, sorry. In the first component, we have demographic change, education for all, employment, fuel and energy, globalization, law and criminality, migration, transport systems. What does it mean that it has different topics? Teacher, we have belief systems in individual report, which is the component 2. Does that mean that no question about belief system is going to come in the written examination? Yes, that's kind of true. But remember that topics and issues and topics in social sciences might be related.
Perdón por llegar tarde.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hello. Mute your microphone, please. Please.
¿Ah?
mute your microphone. Thank you. Okay, let's continue. Look, that doesn't mean that you don't have to know anything about belief systems because you didn't choose it for your individual report, and it's not going to come for the written examination. Remember that every topic can be related if we want it to be. Okay? Remember that when we did the practice of exploring issues inside the topics, exploring the topics to get different issues, we got 10, 12, 15, in some cases even 20 issues out of one topic. And then we explore those issues. In which way? We try to get the causes and consequences, right? So after the issues, we got the causes and consequences as well. And those causes and consequences are also different issues. And those causes and consequences might be related to different topics, which may not be listed in the component number 1 written examination. Okay, teacher, give us an example. No problem. Okay. If we say education for all, one of the issues that we have in education for all is that the system is very archaic. Okay, it is not evolving. And we may even find that in some cases, in some places, like in the heights, in the highlands, La Sierra, education does not reach each and every student. In some cases, there is one teacher for 3 classrooms. So it means that people from 1st grade of secondary, 2nd grade of secondary, and 3rd grade of secondary, they all share one teacher and one classroom. Okay. Is that an issue? Of course, that's an issue. What are the causes and what are the consequences of it? The causes might be there is no enough money to supply the education for it. One cause also might be that there are not enough students to fill in one classroom. Another cause might be there are not enough teachers to go up there and to teach them. What can we get as consequences of that issue? We can get the students to not exploit their full potential. For example, if they are farmers, which are most of them, or cattle people, ganaderos, no? They might do it in a better way to get extra benefits from it. I'm not saying that they should not do it. Of course, they should do it, but in a proper way, like in a more organized way. Okay, and how do they know about that way? Studying, maybe going to the university, and try to get as many resources as they can. So, is that related to changing communities? Yes. Is that related to poverty and inequality? Yes, of course. Is that related to water, food, and agriculture? Yes. So, if we get any issue for any topic, we may somehow relate it to a different topic, which is in a different component. So please try to keep that in mind. So that's why you need to explore the 24 topics before the IGCSE comes. Very good. One second. Okay. Please, boys, do not write on the A. I can see who is doing it. Please, do not paint on the on the
Profe,
screen.
perdón, no sabía que era para todos, pensé que era solamente para mí, o sea, pensé que
Yeah.
solamente lo veía yo, pero no, parece que sí, para todos.
Yeah, don't worry, Arif. Don't do it. Thank you. Okay.
Ok.
Okay, let's continue doing it. So in which way are we going to prepare with these different topics of information? We have been doing so. You know, fuel and energy, you know, globalization, you know, digital world. We are going to keep exploring all of those topics and try to get issues and try to get potential solutions or courses of action. Very good. So what I can assure you, or what I can ask from you is that you start reading different journals, different news regarding all these topics, because on the test, you're going to need all of those background, all of those knowledge to help you develop all the tasks that you're going to be required to do so in the test. So please start reading about starting with your preferred topics, with your preferred issues, and then moving forward into the following topics. It's not going to be hard. Just try to do it now that we are in quarantine. You should take advantage of your time, and you should start reviewing all of these content so you can excel at your global perspectives IGCSE. Now, here comes the good part. The component number 2 for the individual report. As you know, the individual report is individual, as the name itself says, and it's from 1,500 to 2,000 words. Okay, 1,500 to 2,000 words. It's a long report, research report, but we are going to do it part by part, bit by bit. So you're going to present to me for the next week your chosen individual report topic, and then some of the resources that you're going to be selecting. Okay, so for example, if I choose a digital world, you're going to address to me, you're going to send me a message, because there is going to be a form that I will send through CNET that you need to fill to tell me everything you're going through as a work. Okay. So for every one of you, it's the first task. And the component number 3, the team project. This is one thing that you need to be not doing it right now, but reflecting upon it. So don't try to start reading it. I'm not asking you to make groups yet, or to or kids, stop writing, please, because you're distracting me in the class. Arif, Hector, thank you. Okay. In the component 3, as we have been reviewing, you have a lot of 8 topics as well as the other 2 topics, and you're going to not select one right away, but you have to start reading about those, and in which way you can explore the different perspectives of those. Not yet the issues, but different perspectives before you can choose your specific issue that you want to address as a potential solution. Okay, any of those. Before we move forward, I need to know if you have any questions so far. Is everything understood? Is everything understood? Yep. All good? Yes. Okay, I will take that as a yes. No questions, right? Because you have your first homework today. just for the record, we're going to retake on the chapter 2. I know we in some, which is critical thinking skills. Okay, so as a homework, you need to review your book in page 53, page 54, and page 55, only 55. So we have the reasoning skill, which is part of the component of the assessment objective number 1. And you will need to do just the activity 2.01 and the activity 2.02. It's very easy. It's not hard, and it's not going to take you a lot of time. Okay, students, do you have any questions? No? All clear? All clear? Yep. Right, yes, if yes. I don't know. No, teacher, I have a question.
¿Va a enviarlo al CIENET?
Yeah.
Profe, una pregunta. ¿La cámara muestra mi rostro o no? Está mostrando un gato.
Rostro, señor.
¿Verdad?
¿Qué tipo de preguntas son esas?
Ay, chicos. Okay. Look, now that we are going through the quarantine, I'm going to ask by CNET also one small task, because you need to research a lot. What happens in these times of despair?
Ay, no.
Listen, Arif.
Tú no me mires.
Arif,
Sí. Ah, perdón.
please. This is not a game. I don't have much
Sí.
time, and you're interrupting me, please.
Okay.
Turn off your microphone, please. Thank you. Okay, look, in these times of despair, of preoccupation, as we have right now with coronavirus outbreak as a pandemic here in the country, we can explore different perspectives also. You have to remember that we can explore national, local, personal, and global perspectives. We would say that as a global perspective, who can give, okay, I'm going to take extra points, okay? What is the global perspectives regarding the coronavirus or COVID-19? Two extra points for whoever says that the answer. You can write it if you don't want to speak. You can write it. What is the global perspective according to the issue? You're going to lose 2 points. Okay, close. Okay, Omar, very good. Migration? I don't think so. Okay, a better question now. How can we know the global perspective of that issue? How do we find the global perspective of that? Just because we hear news? just because I have my perspective, my neighbor has perspective, and I don't know, my cousin who lives abroad has a different perspective. How can we know the global perspective of that issue, of that disease issue? Well, who gives us that perspective? How can we find the specific global perspective? We haven't studied that. How do we get global perspective? How do we get national perspective? Or another question, not specifically the problems global, not just the facts. Remember that how do we get perspectives? How can we get the national perspective of Mexico? Or the national perspective of the United States? Okay, that's a good idea, but if we look about other people living in different countries, that is the perspective of that country or of that person in the country. It's not necessarily global perspective. Okay, we know with internet, but who can we ask the global perspective? It's an easy question. Very good, Omar. Yes. If we want to know a national perspective, we have to ask or find information from the president or the people in charge of that country, the government, okay? The health ministry. Only in that way we can know the national perspective of any country. For example, if I think in a different way than the president, who has the national perspective? Me or him? Obviously, the president, right? But how do we know then the global perspective? How can we know the global perspective? If I have to ask the president in order to know the national perspective of a country, how do I know the global perspective? Very good. Yes, Omar. Remember that to explore global perspectives, we need to, in order to explore global perspectives, we need a group of or a bigger organization that is going to give us the information. We need, in this case, the World Health Organization, or in some other cases, in some other issues, the United Nations. Okay? In this case, the World Health Organization has told us that this virus is spreading like in a pandemic disease. So this is an outbreak, and they dictated a few prevention measures for every country: quarantine measures, disinfection, and so on and so on and so on, right? So that is the global perspective. The global perspective. The national perspective, we get it from the presidents. So do we have different perspective, national perspective from Peru, Chile, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, United States, Europe, or some countries of Europe? Yes, we do, because different countries and different governments have taken these measures in a different way. In that way is that we are going to take the next assignment, which I am asking you to research about the coronavirus outbreak. Specifically, in which way has it affected the city of Wuhan? I'm going to attach a link of one video that you need to watch. It's about 25 minutes, 30 minutes video on YouTube. And then you're going to write your appreciations about it, okay? It's about the city of Wuhan. It's a small documentary. So that is going to be the task for next week. Just watch a video, think, and write. I'm going to give all the directions in a CNET ad. So that will be it, students. I don't know if you have any other questions. Questions? Yeah, that's true. but in other countries, the infected people numbers are rising. Okay, do you have any other question? Of course, every time I give an assignment, it's not only just that, it's that you need to find information from other sources of information, La idea, chicos, es que cuando yo les dé un párrafo, porque yo les voy a dar artículos, documentos, videos, ustedes lo leen y les va a surgir muchas dudas en su cabeza. Van a tener que ver otras cosas o leer otras cosas para poder obtener el resultado que ustedes quieren, ¿ok? Porque van a tener que escribir bastante bien. Okay, one last thing before I go. Who is Rax Red? Because I go by the attendance.
Sebastián Canaviri.
Pensé que se me había cambiado desde la anterior clase, qué raro.
Okay, yeah, that would be it. The attendance is taken. Remember that I need to see your faces because I need to know that you're listening there, not just opening the Zoom and then going away and play, I don't know. Okay? Yes, I know, Hector. It's until 26th of April now. You see? We hope this is for the best because if we didn't have this quarantine, we would be as Ecuador or worse. And if you don't know how Ecuador is, I suggest you go look for information about Ecuador. Okay? Our whole health system will be collapsing. Yes, it's for our own good. So just people, suggestions for you. Eat well, not only eat junk food, eat vegetables, a lot of fruits, and sleep well. Just sleep well. Do not play a lot of video games, and if you play, do it in rational amounts of time and sleep well. Just that.